I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CT Review. Today is September 18, Thursday, 2025. I hope you had a good day today. So we've been talking about this type of formation here, right? So I think this was some days prior. I made this on the 15th. We've been talking about, even before that, we've been talking about buying up through the 17th and 19th and then looking for a sell-off, right, for the seasonal data, and then 20th to the first of the month just push down, right? So we have also give this example. We came back to the all-time high here and then pushed up. Then we did this, and then we're kind of doing a couple drives, 3 drives up, and then now it's here. Is this going to pan out? It probably will, but point is that yesterday even, we're catching this buy, beautiful up. Look at the reversal and reversal. So you had expansion, you had a retracement, and then you had another expansion. So obviously a reversal to then turn into an expansion. So yesterday I said I wanted to just have it go straight up. Probably Asia London do that, and that's exactly what we did. We pushed up here to the 24,800 level up here, and then we retraced, pushed back up for another drive, and we're seeing if it's going to be done today or tomorrow to sell off and then maybe even gap down Monday. But as you'll see here, that the 1 hour here, we pushed up immediately from the video. I told you, Asia London pushing up, right? We make this high here pre-market, and then we retrace back in where? Into this imbalance. It's sitting right in the middle of the opening range. I'm sorry, the Asia range projection, sitting in the middle, about 50% tagging that. But if you have this, look at the imbalance that I'm circling, then you also have this wick. It's probably at 50% exactly, a little bit hairs below, right? Which is fine. And then what they did is they didn't sell it off, right? What they do, they made another drive up. Wanted to see some type of double top I've been talking about, right? So 1, 2. In up here, obviously, you can get an extra push up, and that's exactly what they did. And we might get another push up. We don't fucking know. But until tomorrow is going to be probably, the final finale. Usually the high of the week is not Thursday. So we'll see if that it wants to rush up now. It might be even doing it now, right? But to try to keep this simple, you can see us pushing up here. I got a projection from yesterday. And then, well, if you want to see it, it's, how I'm doing it here is, yeah, remember that? So that's from yesterday, right? So pushing up, no, not here. I'm sorry. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm tripping. Yeah, so you see that swing that broke the buy. We bought it up here. So that, being mentioned, you could see that we came to 1 and 1.5 first of all, where I got out of the trades. Then we came to 2 to 2.5, and then we fell short of the 3.5 here on the left side, right? You can see that with the pre-market. Then they came back down. They didn't take out that low, so they're trying to fucking build higher lows and really dirty. And then it retracing back into 2 to 2.5. All-time high to the left with this current green line, and I forgot to mention yesterday, that was the reason also why they kept coming down like that, because they'll bounce on the all-time high. This was previous first, and then they'll dig it more because they know you're fucking trying to buy it. And this is very similar today. Again, it could have sank down, but it did not. But you can see here we pushed through at the 9:30 after a little fake pump, and I'll get into that in a second, but again, we're preferring for this to be that last high and then break down, but it's got to move more. It can't just stop here, right? Like as you see, we're just hitting that first imbalance from today. Boom. I need to come underneath that and see structure underneath. We have an inefficiency here, but anyways, what was I gonna say? We have the 2 standard deviation. We make a high here. Before we get there though, we push down, and I have this projected, right? So you could see it here. I have this projection here down, and then I have this low to this high projection down, which is going to be over here, right? So it's not a lot. So the 1 and 1.5, and then this 2 to 2.5, they're coupled together. And this was my initial target for selling from up here. How did I do that? Well, 8:30 news, I already know. We just rated this high, and 8:30, pre 8:30 is right here. So I'm expecting for it to rate and then sell back off what? Into internal liquidity. At general speaking, right? Breakout level right there, pure breakout level right there. And then you'll see the trade. You'll see me at the top here. I have both at the top here. You can see that my entry method was after the 8:30 kicks in, it rated and it rejected in that wick. As soon as I see that and it closes, we're right back in that inversion. So this is this up candle right here. You can see this blue in here. You can see that we literally tap in, and then I'm entering at that level. Next, surely it's no drawdown. It's literally pushing down. And what are we doing? Well, I have this target here, obviously the breakout level. Remember, I am bearish. And I've been telling you guys that I'm looking for sells between now the 17th and the 19th. In this conversation, what do I realize and know that can possibly happen? Well, it can consistently buy in the 17th to the 19th, right? And then out of nowhere, if it's Asia London, if it's we're trading up right now, and then it happens at 10 o'clock or fucking lunch or London or even, even later in the PM session, that's the possibilities of what we're dealing with right at the moment, right? But me understanding that we've already expanded here, and this is an expansion already there, can I expect a retracement, right? Even if it's going to go up one more time, I'm going to expect a retracement here, right? So here you can see we push down, and then 9:30 opens up, and then we push up. I had a 5-minute imbalance sitting here, right? And then we're tagging this 50% right there as well. And then we're using that as a leg down. We're coming into at least the top 50%. I have this highlighted here, why, and we're dipping in it and this is the low of the fucking session actually. Why is because that 2 to 2.5 I'm circling, and that 1 and 1.5 I just told you about. Now I want to come here and I want it to sink to 0. Is that going to happen today? I don't know, and I don't care, right? So I have to take my trades and the conversation of, well, that was the high initially that I put. Now I'm putting the weekly range here, and I have 20 to 40% right here. As you can see, we're sitting at 30% as we're taking this screenshot. But it's a great trade. It's a big trade, and definitely worth holding. But coming on the oversold side, bouncing here is then going to be a probable issue. Now, as far as what we ended up doing, obviously we did push back up, and this ends up being the buy. Why? Well, it is in a discount relative to that high. It is bullish. And we do know that there's still, we still have that possibility of it going up. Well, right here, when you get these drives here, all right, you should never push back up this strong. Never, right? That's number one. Okay, fine. Number two, it comes back and it's sitting on that all-time high, right? But that we just broke through. Look how I told y'all we were just going to buy right through, and we fucking beautifully did in the drawings, but then we bounce right here. Okay, so that issue here, it has to go through, or it has to start mingling down, because this should never get broken. Matter of fact, we shouldn't even have candles above here. It should have sold from this 25% opening range gap, and then we should mingle down this way. This is first big red sign, number one. Number two, once this goes up from here, over with. Now you understand that, okay, you got a retracement, but that retracement was over. Number one. Number two, it's not a reversal and it's not sinking. Number three is that now you're in an expansion. How do you know it's an expansion? It's because the obvious candles, obviously bullish imbalances on this right side of the curve are strong. They're big, right? So I needed to see more bearish candles here. We didn't get that, right? So if you cut it off right here and you can continue buying where? Well, into these miniature lower high. There you go. I fucking knew it, baby. I'm in this trade right here since in here. I'm in this sell right here. Some people call this a head and shoulders. I mean, in reality, it's funny that it's working out, but could this been the break here? So you had a high, higher low, you push up, you break, lower high. That's what I sold here. I'm still in the trade. But why? Because I understand the fuckery and they might be doing this at the PM session. Again, I'm not saying Asia London and Friday won't come back up and still make another high, but I'm still looking for sells, right? So very evident in what I am talking about here. So when I give this example, there's higher highs and higher lows inside this, right? And then there's going to be lower lows and lower highs in this leg, right? So based off the seasonality, I'm trusting that. We'll see what happens, right? But again, once it broke here, it shouldn't be up here if you're selling. That's 1,000%. And it shouldn't be up this high if it's selling either, just to be honest with you, right? But this is a scenario where, okay, did you really paint that head and shoulders just so everybody can be involved because you need somebody to be a seller up here? And it's all psychological differences of saying, oh, that's not going to work, so they're going to keep buying. But I won't even go into that. But breaking here, okay, now we have an expansion back up. So now when I'm selling this, I am at the least retracing. Now it could be a consolidation, and it was turning into that. And if I wanted to see a reversal from consolidation, I want to see this get rated and then pull back in, right? But they didn't do that. So it might just be one of the simple patterns of it breaking here and retracing for a lower high here. But in the general gist, right now, what's the flow? It's bullish to have an expansion. Where's a retracement? I'm selling in a retracement right now, right? I'm in a retracement right now, just like this scenario right here, okay? I am hoping for it to then be a break and turn into this type of flow like we had on Tuesday, right? So we had this push up and then it's just started breaking down. This is obviously a lot cleaner. This is not clean at all. But hey, again, I'm basing it off of the seasonal data. So, and the possibilities, because now you're fucking doing these higher lows and they're real tight, creating liquidity, and then in the internal range is very likely to come down. I think they're going to take down this data low. That's going to be maybe my target. I might hold this for a long time. I'm going to see if I can pull it. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I just know that today and tomorrow are going to be the highest probabilities of it selling off, right? But anyways, retracement. And it's either going to, obviously expand back up. And then I'm looking for a reversal. That's the worst case scenario that we get now. Otherwise, you obviously know that I want to sell down, right? But again, this is a very ugly price action for the cause of what we're talking about, because this is more of now a retracement. There's not really a good reversal signature here besides this break, but I mean, and then making it this tough to sell from up here. Obviously we don't want to buy at these all-time highs either. So you have to remember that's also the case. But I also did the measurement here. You see this? So I could do it a couple ways, but right now I was using this. And I'm just using the bodies here of this push up before it breaks, comes down, and then it breaks. So I'm using this here. Got to a 101.5. And by the way, this high right here, even when I got into these cells here, you can see to the left, it hit that 2 standard deviation. Look to the right. Look to the right. It's the same level. There it goes, right there. See that? Tick. right? See that? 2 standard deviations up. We just came back into the first imbalance today. And then, if it does push up, does it come into this 2 to 2.5? Now, on the larger scale, I've been talking about pushing up, right? So I had this negative 2.5 right there. And then, and then here's a half, right? And we've been pushing up, and now we're in the middle. You can see, you can eyeball that. We've hit the middle of this, right? So 0.3 or whatever, something, right? We're there now. So I'm thinking, a nice overbought here on the daily. And again, I want to see it, start coming back down for that September sell-off, last end of the quarter. Our contracts are ending tomorrow. Expiration. They love to sell off at the end of expirations. So, but the issue is Thursday the high of the week, or is it going to be Friday? There's nothing else I can say. Anyways, you will see here that, where am I at? Where are we at here? We had the sell off when I took the sell. We had a higher high, by the way, right there. And everything else was kind of kosher here. And then just pushed up, and then from here we obviously had another higher high here, right? And then this is when I was interested in sells here. So we'll see if it goes. Again, no expectations. You have to be able to have that mindset. I don't know, dollar waking up from that. Are we having an engulfing candle here? I don't know. The seasonality for dollar is generally goes up in May and October. Was it? Did I say May? I can't remember. But October generally. Actually, let me take a look. I don't want to make this video long. Yeah, middle of October, not the first 2 weeks. It is selling off. And then June. June was a nice push. Also May. So May, and then also a June. But I'm not really getting that here. But it's looking like maybe the middle of August. I'm sorry, October for dollar. We'll see if it shoots to hell or not. But again, new all-time high here, and then retracing right back into that liquidity. We did make Asia. They did make a new high right there, push up too. And then right now it's still bullish, but and I'm not trying to pick the top here. What I'm doing is I'm favoring the probability of the seasonal data, right? So, that being said here, yeah, making it real tough. Look at this pennant, right? It's to show you something suspect, right? Again, I could be wrong, and hey, I'm looking for the structure to flow and then fall off. Most likely tomorrow. I mean, if I don't see it going after tomorrow. By the 20th, we should already be in sell mode. So I expect Friday to slip the rug from everybody at the minimum if it's not happening now. What else here? Same story with them. With ES. That was Dow, by the way, originally. And obviously this is uglier. But squeezed everybody out there, dude. And it just don't look good. It just don't look good. And I think we'll see if it pops in, man. If it happens. But I'm in the sell from here, right? Literally from here. So again, fake little head and shoulders, but squeezing out this guy, taking out the liquidity, and then this little breakout. This is last resort, man. If it's going any higher, obviously it's fucking making a new high, but this sucked, trying to catch this shit. But and then again, we're in that 1 and 1.5. So I want to see a 1 and 1.5. If it's going to stop here, I want to see it stop here. So that means it's a little on the weaker side, even though it pushed up in an expansion. We have structure, and this is still a retrace. So if it doesn't keep going up here, it's going to fall off a cliff, I think. but you are in a retracement. So I'm selling the retracement. Does it fail and make a new high? Very possible. If not, then good for me. And could this be a buy for another expansion? Yeah, sure it could. Sure it could. So remember I said that, right? And then once we get up here, we got the 2.5, 2 to 2.5. And the reason why I'm also saying all this conversation is because we have this 3.5 to 4 that we've been sitting in here. So I just don't really want to see it go any higher. And that's the measurement from, I just showed you that, didn't I? Yeah. All right, so I don't need to make a video longer. And then NVIDIA, strong response about pushing up here, but also very suspect at the same time. So, gap here with no price action should be illegal. All right, so maybe they want to come back in. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention before I forgot. And what was it? Here. Look at this continuous contract. You can see here that that's a gap. So we had a gap here and it came in, right? But that wick is still a gap. So there's no body whatsoever here. And it's another reason for it to come back down. But maybe they want to squeeze more out of this lemon up. And we're just going to grind just a little bit. But I just feel like that grinding is over. I'd like to see this inversion turn into an inversion, this bullish imbalance right here, and never really being able to get above like this 1 hour candle here. Like, we're locked inside of it. I want to see this imbalance that we are creating right now. Hopefully they don't seal it and it stays like this and it just becomes a bearish candle. That stays empty, okay? To show strength of it locking and then coming down. Remember I said all that, right? So don't want to see it go any higher. We have flow here, and if we can break this low, I mean, we're good. And that's just my opinion there. What else? Am I missing something? Is it short? Yeah, man, because I'm sorry, I don't really want to make 35, 40-minute videos. I really don't. Like, I swear to God I don't, but it's just, we're talking about something very sophisticated and very, serious in a way. But as you see when we pushed up and broke that all-time high here, I've already explained this stuff, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah, and then I said yesterday I wanted to see it go on an overbought. Look how we came to an overbought in that 1 hour, like very quickly, bro. Oh my God, very quickly, dude. Like, that's so serious. Awesome. So look how we top right there. Very ugly price action. Look at these it's just suspect as fuck, don't it? It looks suspect as fuck. But I would like to see it come back down, and then I want to see it on the 4 hour. Again, we're knocking on the daily here. That's a nice time to sell, generally speaking. And look at the weekly. Yeah, the weekly is finally tagging that bitch too, and that's a big deal. I think it could just be noise. Obviously, I don't care. Then this 4 hour looks kind of super suspect. We've been having some beautiful rallies though. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, dude. But anyways, yeah, man, let's go for the moon here. Not for the moon, for the floor here. Beautiful sell from here. And let me see if I do a projection and it does break. I'm gonna just do it from here, because that's really, we're basing it off. That's that lower high, right? So we broke, retracing deep. And just so you know, the reason why I also sold from here is to the tick, that last up candle. Look, you can't make that shit up. And if you want to make that your model, where this is the supply zone, this is the farthest I want to go, fucking go ahead. All right, because I see this. All right, and I'm selling this. And sure enough, we rolled over. Look at all this bullshit, time distortion. So far, it's looking good. So, and I've been telling y'all, So there's not, yeah, you know, I've been saying this shit for the longest time, saying, well, we looking for a sell 17, 18, 19. In a perfect world, it ain't going to be the 17th. Did we still murder it here? Yeah, because of, not for pattern's sake, but I was drawing this, the retrace push up, and we never got a retrace yet. So then we got the retrace, obviously, in sweeping that. And then when I'm buying here, it's because, for pattern's sake, I'll just say for pattern's sake, and seasonality data's reasoning, that it has to make another high. I've been talking about a double top as well. And let's just say that was the triple top that we just got on the uglier 15-minute time frame. But that's why I'm buying from here. So you notice how I'm not like constantly trying to sell this and to come into here yet still, right? So I'm working with a strategy and a plan that's based off of I'm not like trying to sell the hype, and it's not like I'm not buying the fear and all that bullshit. And I don't have my dick hard for trying to constantly sell it, right? Like I'm gonna, notice I'm still buying, right? Because I understand the proper logic of, it ain't gonna be that sweet. It ain't gonna just sell it from here, and that's why we pushed up. Look, was I a part of this? No, but could I have been? Yeah, yes, I could have bought. I even bought it here and could have just held it. And sure enough, hey, we went up, and I was saying that I wanted another high, and to make a double top, right? Didn't I say that? Man, where is that video? I'd have to go back. Well, you can see it kind of here, right? Anyways, if you're listening and you're following, I ain't just fucking talking, right? Look at it, and this gap, this wick looks like a gap. They're gonna reference that. Look at these. Look at, where's so Wednesday's first imbalance is right there, right? And here's Monday. So Monday right there is the AM, PM. Wednesday's AM. We're coming down. We'll see how it works. So but I'm just flowing, baby. So yeah, man. What is there else left to say? Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at this candle right here. Up. This up candle. This down candle. This up. And this down candle. Closing lower. This is your most likely reversal, and I'm in it from right here, just so you know. So how am I gonna manage this? I don't know if I'm gonna be holding this shit for the next 10 days. But it sure does make sense to, because the and just so you know also, the 5-year is very shallow, right? Where is this shit? This example that I give here, this is more like the 5-year. And right now we have not been operating really well like the 5-year. It's been more like the 15-year. And the 15-year shows that we come underneath this guy right here. Remember these? So I'm expecting a speaker right here. You're like, dude, what are you talking about? Probably. So the 15-year, I'm expecting it to be much deeper. So let's just say this is the point of origin. I'm just going to randomly not randomly, but I'm going to do it from here. Remember I did that speaker? Oh, I should have did a trend line. Remember I did a speaker here? Remember when I did in the picture yesterday? When was this? 17? Didn't I draw a speaker in this video? Let's see here. I did it right there, didn't I? So remember this here? So when we bought up, notice how if I continue that line all the way up, we bought up here. See that? So how do I know that? It's because because this is manipulation. right? And this is the way they do shit. So if you draw this fucking line here, what I did yesterday, can't you see it? I don't gotta fucking. Do I need to draw this again? From there, I'll just say there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The point is, you see. Anyways, I'm just talking shit. But anyways, yeah, we'll see what they do. Is there anything else I'm missing? So, I made a long video. I made a short video long for nothing. And then again, I want to see at the minimum. I just want to start seeing this. The rest of the week, next week, maybe even gap down and all that, right? If it doesn't do this, okay, guess what? We're going up one more fucking time, at least. And again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm only married to selling, but you know, this is worst case scenario. If our ideas here and seasonal data works, right? You guys take care. God bless.